one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
Story comes to us from Local 10 out of Miami, where a former City of Miami police officer is facing multiple charges, the Miami-Dade County State's Attorney's Office announced. Now, DeJimmy, D-J-I-M-Y, DeJimmy Joseph, is charged with one count each of organized scheme to defraud over $50,000, money laundering over $100,000, and making false official statements. Cop? No. According to prosecutors, a routine licensing inspection by the Florida Department of ABT, which is Alcohol, Beverages, and Tobacco, revealed that Joseph was the owner of Yoa's Cafe Inc., also known as Sabor Latino Bar and Grill, which is located at 2350 Northwest 7th Street. Joseph's arrest report also states he owned other businesses that included Jimmy Properties LLC, DJ Motors Transportation and Logistics LLC, and Foundation Love Corp. But the problem is that a Florida statute states that active law enforcement officers are prohibited from owning and or operating a business that sells or serves alcoholic beverages, which Joseph was at the time, according to an arrest warrant. Anyway, prosecutors said Joseph was initially charged with a misdemeanor for that offense, and a public corruption investigation was opened. Wow, corruption and a cop? Now, according to the state attorney's office, that investigation revealed that Joseph also owned other businesses and had fraudulently applied for and received over $246,000 in COVID relief loans through the Paycheck Protection Program, or the PPP, and other government programs provided by the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act. I've heard of the CARES Act. So prosecutors said the warrant outlines how Joseph's statements on the CARES Act application, or the PPP application, contrast with bank records and the sworn testimony of former employees regarding how they were paid. Prosecutors said the warrant also outlines how he submitted false statements misrepresenting the number of employees that he had and monthly payroll amounts and revenues and expenses to receive a larger loan. So he was misrepresenting the money to get a larger loan. Now, corruption in any form cannot and must not be tolerated at any level of public service, says State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle. She said Mr. Joseph's actions show a deliberate and intentional pattern of behavior that was meant for his personal financial gain at the expense of breaking the law he had sworn to uphold as an officer and betraying the public trust placed in him. Now, Joseph is being held at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center, where his total bond was set at $20,500. So, man, that was a tough one to read or something. I need coffee. But regardless of that, here's a cop that is being accused of committing a fraudulent application and inflating the numbers and so forth so he could get a larger loan from the CARES Act. The one thing that's helping people, or did help people during the COVID pandemic. You know, all these people losing their jobs, these people need money, and here's this cop who's being accused of taking more than he's entitled to. Interesting, a cop taking more than he's entitled to.